Okay, so I'm just writing some music for some underscore for a production company, production library, and kind of with a Middle Eastern vibe to it. I'm just playing oud on top of strings. I created a loop here of tremolo strings, and basically the idea is just these are D's, and then I think there's an A in there, but just D's. D's a great key for the oud. And it's nice to have, because oud is fretless, it's really nice to have that that bed where I've got a pitch I can tune to, because it's really hard. For me, I'm not a fretless guy. I've never played violin before, and oud is the only instrument that I play, and I say play loosely, that I use for sessions that doesn't have frets. So I'm going to tune this, and I'll be right back, and then I'm just going to lay down some tracks. You won't, so the strings sound like that. Now I'm not quite in tune, but what I will do is I'm going to tune this and be right back, and then I'm just going to play play a little bit over some of these string loops. Okay, that's basically what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is a really pretty much a cheap oud. I couldn't really justify spending a lot of money on an oud because I didn't know at the time I would use it as much as I have. It's pretty frustrating though, because it's friction tuners like a violin, and there are 11 of them. So you have 11 strings, one D string by itself down here, and then everything else is two courses, or two strings per course. G, A, D, G, C. Pretty close anyway. I even, just to help me remember, I wrote it down on white tape on the back of the headstock. That's a lot of headstock right there. The other thing that's a little frustrating with the oud is it tends to do this as you're playing it, which kind of messes up the recording. And so what I've done is I bought some anti-slip rug stuff, and I just put it on my lap, and it actually does a pretty good job of holding it. Now, another problem, I've got to, this is true of any time I'm recording acoustic, is I have to make sure that I don't have buttons on my sleeve so that they're banging on the top of the guitar. The engineer will be like, "What's clicking in there?" I'm like, "I don't know. What's clicking in here?" And it's my sleeves. So, and then here's another little trick too. I'm going to have a tuner up here, and I'm going to have I have my tuner here, because I can play blues. Anyway, so I'm going to put my ears in, so you won't hear the strings. You'll just hear the oud, and I'm going to make it fairly pretty in my ears. I'm going to put reverb on it and things like that. And I'm just going to track over these 5. It's about 1:40. So I'm just going to track over these 5 things, hopefully. I may stop and redo one if I don't like what I did. But basically the idea is just to kind of have this peaceful, desert kind of vibe to it. Okay, so that one I didn't dig, so I'm going to go ahead and punch in there. And this is way too loud. I gotta turn that down. Okay, I didn't like the way that one started, but that previous one was pretty cool. Flat merge. I'll chop these up later. Okay. Okay, so let's give a listen to those. Now, I chose D because D is a really, really good key on oud. And so it's basically D pedals, like I said, on the strings. In the two scales, the Arabic scales are crazy. They literally have notation for 54 notes per octave. Western music only has 12, so they're used to hearing those notes in between. They have scales that are kind of like halfway between major and minor scales. It's fascinating. I'll put a link to a great website so you can hear all these scales on different instruments and stuff. It's great. It's called Macam World, and their scales are all played there. And I think their scales are like 4-note, kind of like I would call tetrachords or half scales, but they can do the full octave too. And generally, they're not transposable. Like you wouldn't play an E flat the same scales, because I think the reason is, and again, I wish I had more experience on it, but I think it's because you have those 3 bottom strings, which are kind of the 1, 4, and 5, and you kind of hit that. You kind of hit the, like for example, you hit the D string down here, and you kind of. So the 2 scales I'm using are basically D minor and D Phrygian, kind of. So out of tune. But like I said, they would use the tones that we in Western music don't even have notation for. So anyway, so let's listen to this and see what it sounds like. You get the sense of what I'm trying to do here. And I'll probably add some more elements too. Turn off the mic. Open the room up here and see. Be surprised what can get used. Anyway, so that's a little bit of what I do with my day. Just constantly writing music and ideas to be used in TV shows and things like that. So. Hope you're doing well. God bless you, and rock on. Udon.